heard the sound of voices. She turned to see the girl and boy approaching. They did not see her as they went inside the stable. Niki's voice was raised argumentatively. She was probably trying to get Luke's opinion, advice, or approval. He seemed to be listening intently to whatever it was she was saying. Still not aware of Kara's presence, they got their horses out of their stalls and began to saddle them. Kara stood at the entrance of the pony barn, watching them fondly. Luke was becoming an extraordinarily handsome young man. Although not as tall as his father, he had a slim, athletic build and Kip's coloring and features. Corduroy breeches, a blue denim shirt with the sleeves rolled up, and a red scarf tied casually around his neck gave him a dashing look. Of course, Niki was as carelessly outfitted as ever, in a sweater yards too big for her, jodhpurs too short, her curly dark hair as tousled as some ragamuffin boy's. She was still talking as she swung up into her saddle. Luke mounted with effortless grace, and they walked their horses out of the barn and into the sunlit afternoon. "Have a good ride," Kara called. Neither seemed to have heard her over the clatter of their horses' hooves on the cobblestone. At the curve of the drive, they broke into a trot. Kara remained, looking after them until they rode out of sight. From the day Kara and Kip had brought the little French war orphan back to Montclair, Luke, although only 2 years older, had taken on the role of a protective older brother, affectionate and kind. Niki adored him immediately, wanting to tag along with him everywhere. Tolerantly, Luke put up with her. However, how long would this close relationship last? Home from his first year at college, Luke was changing, growing up to be a serious, more thoughtful young man. Kara had found books on his bedside table, placed face down, as if he had been reading at night before turning out the light. This was a brand new side of Luke, one she had not been aware of before. Certainly this wasn't the Kip part of Luke. Kara couldn't remember the last time she had seen Kip reading a book, if ever. Maybe he'd occasionally pick up a Field and Stream magazine or glance through the Hunt Club newsletter. "Afternoon, Aunt Kara." The young male voice startled her, and she whirled around to see her nephew, Stuart Cameron. "Well, hello, Stu," she greeted him, thinking the lanky redhead was, as they say, the spittin' image of her brother Scott at the same age. "Shouldn't you be working at the newspaper this time of day? Does your daddy, the editor, know you're playing hooky?" "Turned in my copy. Got a city council meeting to cover tonight, so I took the rest of the day off." He grinned, then glanced into the barn hopefully. "Niki around?" Kara darted him a quick look, then shook her head. "Sorry, she and Luke just took off on a ride." Stuart could not hide his disappointment. He did not have a poker face, Kara thought with sympathetic amusement. "They should be back in an hour or so, Stu. I told them I wanted them back in plenty of time to clean up and help me some. Your Aunt Kitty and Craig are in Williamsburg, and they're driving over here for supper." Kara added impulsively, "You're welcome to join us if you'd like." The minute the words were out of her mouth, Kara winced. Niki will kill me. She always wanted Luke to herself when he was home for the weekend, but it was too late to retract the invitation. Stuart's face broke into an eager grin. "Thanks. I'd like that, if it isn't any trouble." "No trouble. It will be just family. Your family, Stu." When Luke and Niki came back and found Stuart there, Kara was relieved to see Niki hide her chagrin. Sometimes Niki treated Stuart with undisguised indifference. Maybe Niki was learning to curb her impulsiveness. Kara hoped so. Niki's volatile temperament had often got her into trouble. Kara set another place at the dining room table, thinking that she couldn't really blame Stuart for having fallen in love with her adopted daughter. Niki had become an enchanting young woman. She wasn't beautiful, but her face had individuality, brown eyes sparkling with mischievousness, a small, square-tipped nose, a generous mouth ready to smile. Her silky dark hair was worn short and gave her the look of a French street urchin, which might have been her destiny if Kara